When you constantly know that whatever you know, there's always more to know, you're constantly seeking what it is you don't know.
So my spirit lives on completely. It has nothing to do with this dead body on the floor. And so, she starts CPR, and I'm standing there watching, and I hear everybody hollering and screaming, and I turn around and I said, I'm not going to stand here. There's no point in that. So I decide I'm going to go check on my family. Go to the stairs, and I start walking up, and as I'm walking up the stairs, I see my legs are starting to dissolve and lose form. And I remember thinking, whoa, this is getting really strange. And as I got to the top of the stairs, I had lost all form. I was just a big ball of energy. And at that point, the stairs go off to the left, and I didn't bother. I went through the wall. And what was interesting is when I got through the wall, I had actually exited the wall right over where my wife was sitting, and she was painting children's faces. So she had all these kids lined up, and she was painting their faces, and I memorized the kids and who was there, what order they were in, and then I also memorized all of the furniture, the way it was set up. And that was going to be a big point later on when it came time to verify what I saw. I pass over her head, and I'm kind of going diagonally through the room. And when I went through the roof was when things really kind of got wild. Because all of a sudden I had fallen into this river of pure positive energy. And it was this bluish white light coming from a big source off to my right. And it was radiating this energy. If you can imagine absolute love and absolute peace, it was the only thing that was coming from this light source. And I remember thinking, oh my God, this is incredible. This is the most incredible thing that anyone could ever go through. And as I looked at that energy, I started looking at it very critically, and I could actually see the lines of the energy. It looked like a sine wave. So it was a low frequency energy. And I could see that this energy made up everything. And it flowed through everything. It created everything. And I remember thinking, this is the God energy. This is what it's all about. I could measure this. My science brain is going, oh yeah, let's do that. As I'm standing there, I'm thinking this is the greatest gift that anyone could ever have, to be able to know this and to see this and to feel it. And so I was going in this stream of this energy. I didn't know where it was going, but it was taking me someplace. And as I'm floating in this energy river, I see this wall that I'm passing, and the wall is like a collage of my life. So there was pictures on the wall, and there wasn't any in-depth discussion about it. It was just, these are all high points and low points of your life. I was just kind of floating by and didn't really go into much of it at all. At that point, I was so excited about where I was going, even though I had no idea. And then right about the time I was ecstatic about where it was going, all of a sudden, boom, like somebody flipped a switch. I was back in my body, and geez, it hurt. I had a burn on my face, I had a burn on my foot where it hit me and where it came out. And I'm still unconscious. I can't move. I can't say anything, but I'm stuck in this body. And the girl who was doing CPR stopped, and she was kneeling next to me, and I could feel that. And then it took a number of minutes before I could open my eyes. I remember thinking, I want to thank this woman for saving my life. And when I opened my mouth to say something, the only thing that came out was, "It's okay, I'm a doctor." And she just laughed and said, "You weren't a minute ago."